National Assembly passes 2023 budget. Senate urged Central Bank of Nigeria to extend withdrawal of old currency notes. Former Governor Yari reaffirms commitment to ensure APC victory in 2023 elections. On business, House of Representatives urged Nigerian Petroleum Development Company to suspend sale of oil mining license. Another international scene, United States imposes COVID-19 testing for visitors from China. And on sports, I will never get over World Cup heartbreak, says Mbappe. Hello, welcome to Standard Voice Television News Channel. I'm Svtv. The Senate and the House of Representatives have passed the 2023 appropriation bill after raising the 20.51 trillion naira proposed spending presented by President Muhammadu Buhari by 1.32 trillion naira to 21.82 trillion naira. The upper chamber also approved Buhari's request of 819.54 billion naira domestic loan meant to fix infrastructure destroyed by the recent unprecedented flood that ravaged many states in the country. However, there was tension in the right chamber as senators disagreed over the president's request for the approval of 23.7 trillion naira way and means advance. The budget passed followed the consideration and approval of the report of the both chambers Committee on Appropriation. The Senate has urged the Central Bank of Nigeria to currently extend the withdrawal of the old currency note from circulation from January 31st to June 30th, 2023. Our correspondent Rahma Ibrahim has more.
The Senate's resolution was sequel to a point of order raised by Senator Muhammad Indume during plenary. Raising orders 41 and 51 of Senate Standing Rule, Indume said the call for extension of the date should be considered as a matter of urgent national importance in order to forestall imminent hardship for Nigerians. Indume said the Senate noted that many Nigerian banks opened their vaults to customers and depositors to exchange their old currency for the newly redesigned currency, which has a stipulated deadline on January 31st. Saying some Nigerians are already envisaging long queues in the banking halls across the country as a result of people trying to get access to the new Naira note. The lawmaker also said that access to the new notes would be compounded by recent circular by the CBN, which limited the amount of cash withdrawal by corporates and titles. Rahma Ibrahim, Dosar, Standard Voice Television.
The Speaker, House of Representatives Femi Bajabemila, has denied committing himself to offsetting the areas of salaries owned members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities by the federal government. Our correspondent Fatima Ibrahim reports.
The denial was contained in a statement issued in Abuja by the Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Information, Mr. Benjamin Kalu. The denial followed alleged claims by the ASU President, Prof. Emmanuel Osodike, that Bajabemila had failed to deliver on a written commitment that the federal government would offset the lecturers' salary arrears immediately after calling off their strike. But Mr. Kalu said the Speaker never made such commitment. He, however, said the House had resolved to improve the welfare package of university lecturers and provide more money for Universities Revitalization Fund, adding that the commitment have been reflected in the 2023 appropriation bill, which include 170 billion to raise the welfare package of university lecturers and additional 300 billion revitalization fund. That's the news. Fatima Ibrahim reporting for SVTV News.
Former Zamfara State Governor Abdul Aziz Yari has reaffirmed his commitment to ensure that Governor Bello Matawalle and other APC candidates emerge victorious in the forthcoming general elections. Mr. Yari, who spoke to teaming APC supporters in Bakure town, said APC has mapped out strategies to ensure victory for Governor Matawalle and other APC candidates in 2023 general elections.
APC! APC! Nigeria! 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 Zamfara! Zamfara!
called on APC members to make sure that they elect all APC candidates in the forthcoming general elections, calling on all the supporters and members of the party to shun anti-party activities for the overall progress of the party. In his closing remarks, Governor Bello Matawale commended the party's supporters for the grand rally, assuring them that he would work assiduously to move the state forward. Katsina State's Governor Aminu Masari has signed the 2023 appropriation bill of over 289 billion naira into law. Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Tasiu Maigari, presented the bill containing the figures to the governor for asset at the Government House, Katsina State. Alhaji Maigari disclosed that the House reviewed upward the budget figure earlier presented to the House by the governor in 22nd December 2022, noting that it was aligned with the vision of Masari-led government. The state governor, Alhaji Aminu Bello Masari, said his government performed well despite challenges in fall of crude oil price, dwindling revenue from the federal government accounts, insecurity and COVID-19. He prayed that the incoming governor would build off his achievement and perform better for the better Katsina State. Kaduna State Police Command have arrested a traditional title holder in Zazzau Emirates in Zaria for allegedly sodomizing a 14-year-old boy. Spokesperson of the command, DSP Muhammad Jalige, who confirmed the arrest to newsmen, said the suspect will be prosecuted at the conclusion of the investigation. Some passengers who are traveling from Jigawa State to other parts of the country have lamented the hike in price transport fare occasioned by increase in fuel price and the Yuletide. Newsmen who visited some major motor parks within Duse Metropolis showed that transport fare from the state capital to other states had increased. A commercial driver, Malam Kamilu Duse, said the increase in fuel price coupled with the Yuletide period had contributed to the hike in cost of transportation at various motor parks. He, however, attributed the transport fare hike to the challenges being faced by drivers in getting fuel at government price. Boko Haram terrorists have reportedly killed 17 herders and stole their cattle following clashes in the troubled Borno state. Militia leader Babakura Kolo said the herders put up resistance but were outgunned and outnumbered by the attackers who had better weapons. He said the militants launched the attack from camps in nearby Gajigana forest, where they were relocated after being partially forced out of their stronghold in Sambisa forest by the rival Dishi and the Nigerian army. Daesh split from Boko Haram in 2016 and rose to become the dominant group in the region's long-running turmoil. Boko Haram and Daesh have increasingly been targeting civilians, particularly loggers, farmers and herders, accusing them of spying on them for the military and the local anti-jihadist militia. The regent of Oba community in Demili South local government area of Anambra State, Prince Noel Ezenwa, and the traditional ruler of Obasi community in Indemili North local government area of the state, Igwe Chidumbe Weke III, have hailed the federal government over the second Niger bridge. Both monarchs commended the federal government for deeming it necessary to construct the project in the interest of Nigerians. Prince Ezenwa, who spoke to newsmen in Oba, charged the government to ensure the speedy completion of the project as contained in its specification. He noted that the proposed toll gate of the bridge was also a way to providing security and other amnesty on the bridge. The monarch also advised the monitoring public not to be worried about the establishment of toll gates on the bridge, but should look for the benefit it would offer. Gunmen bombed the Eniela Police Division headquarters of Eniela local government area of Anambra State. The attack was subsequently upon the throwing of improvised explosion devices by gunmen into the facility and in the process raised a building inside the station. Our correspondent Mubarak Ibrahim has more.
An indigene of the area, Uju Okafo, said the bombing and sporadic shooting by the gunmen did not allow them to sleep during the attack. Okafo said it was later in the morning that they realized that attack was carried out at the police facility. Confirming the attack in a statement, spokesman of the State Police Command, DSP Chuchuku Ekenga, said some police operatives engaged in the gunmen in a shootout during the attack and subsequently recovered one AK-47 from the hoodlums. DSP Chuku said He also confirmed that the gunman has set some inmates free during the attack, saying the police are already on their trial. Mubarak Ibrahim reporting for Svtv.
And on business, over to Jamila Ibrahim.
Thank you, Fauzia, and on business updates. The House of Representatives has urged the Nigerian Petroleum Development Company to suspend its planned auction of the oil mining license 11 assets. This followed the adoption of a motion of urgent national importance by Representative Victor Mela at plenary in Abuja. On moving the motion, Mr. Mela said the oil field under oil mining license 11 was formerly operated by the Shell Petroleum Development Company joint venture. He said the field had been idle since the company was forced out of Ogoni land in 1993, adding that a Court of Appeal judgment of August 16, 2021 indicated that the SPDC joint venture lost its right to renewal of the operating license. He said there were unresolved issues between the government and the host communities of Ogoni, which were fueling resistance and restiveness amongst the people. Expressing concern over claim that the government was allegedly involved in an unity arrangement to auction oil mining license 11 assets to Sahara Energy Limited for a paltry sum of $250 million against the $1 billion offered by the SPDC, saying there was need to clarify and resolve issues associated with the planned auction among other matters. And that's all on business updates. I am Jamila Ibrahim Dusara. Do have a nice day.
Thank you, Jamila. And on the international scene. The U.S. has become the largest country to impose COVID-19 testing on visitors from China after Beijing announced it will reopen borders next week. Italy, Japan, Taiwan and India also announced monitoring tests, but Australia and UK said there were no new rules for travelers from China. After 3 years of being closed to the world, China will let people travel more freely from 8 January 2023. According to report, China is reporting about 5,000 cases a day, but analysts said such numbers are vastly uncounted and the daily caseload may be closer to 1 million, as hospitals are overwhelmed and residents are struggling to find basic medicines. The U.S. said a lack of adequate and transparent COVID-19 data in China had contributed to the decision to require COVID tests from 5th January for travelers entering the country from China, Hong Kong and Macau. And on sports, Kylian Mbappe said he will never get over the disappointment of losing the World Cup final after the France star scored the winning on his return to action from Paris Saint-Germain. Mbappe said he had been through some difficult times since the defeat, but showed few signs of the setback in Qatar as he won and converted a 96th-minute penalty to give PGS a last-gap 2-1 win against Strasbourg in Ligue 1's resumption following the World Cup break. The 24-year-old said, as he said to his teammates, there is no reason why the club should pay the price for the failure of the national team, saying they are two very difficult situations. He added that it does him good to come back with a win and to have a link with the club, the supporters and his teammates. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. During the news, here's a recap of the major headlines. National Assembly passes 2023 budget. Senate urged Federal Central Bank of Nigeria to extend withdrawal of old currency notes. Former Governor Yari reaffirms commitment to ensure APC victory in 2023 elections. On business, House of Representatives urged Nigerian Petroleum Development Company to suspend sale of oil mining license. And on the international scene, United States imposes COVID-19 testing for visitors from China. And on sports, I will never get over World Cup heartbreak, says Mbappe. That's the news. Thanks for watching. I'm Fauzia Ibrahim. Do have a nice day.